Assalamu alaikum, welcome back to Muslim Responds. Today we going to respond to David Wood video called If Jesus is God, How Could He Die? If Jesus was a man, then his death is understood because we know every man will die, but if Jesus is God, then we have to ask, can God die? Because we know that God who is the creator of all things can't die. And as we know Jesus was a man according to 1 Timothy chapter 2 verse 5, which states, for there is one God, and one mediator between God and men, the man Jesus. Now we can listen to Mr. Wood to try to convince that Jesus was God and he dead.
Christians believe that Jesus is God. Christians also believe that Jesus died on the cross. So Christians must believe that God died. But God is eternal and unchanging and immortal and all-powerful. What sense does it make to say that he died? Confused yet? Not for long, because in this video, I'm going to do three things. First, I'm going to state what the Christian position is so that everyone knows what we're claiming. Second, since this issue is most frequently brought up by Muslims as an objection to Christianity, I'm going to help our Muslim friends understand the Christian view by drawing attention to an interesting parallel with Islamic theology. And finally, I'm going to show why the Christian view is correct and why the Muslim view most certainly is not. So, this discussion is mainly geared towards Christians and Muslims, but anyone who's watching, even you atheists, will soon have a better understanding of Christianity and Islam. In the first verse of the book of John, we read, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God."
First of all, let's thank Mr. Wood for trouble himself to explain to us their position of how they believe that God can die, and we have noticed that when the Christians wants to prove that Jesus is God, they only go to the Gospel of John. It prominently portrays Jesus as the Word, not other Gospels. How do you know WHO is the Word in John chapter 1 verse 1? Another problem caused by this verse is, according to Genesis 1 verse 1, it stated at the beginning God created the heaven and the earth. The question is, WHO created the heaven and the earth between God and Jesus according to John 1 verse 3.
So, the Word, logos in Greek, was in the beginning before anything was created. Verse 3 says that everything was created through the Word. The Word was with God, indicating that there's some sort of distinction between God and the Word, later to be fully clarified as Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. And the Word was God, indicating that the Word was, by nature, in essence, God. Verse 14 goes on to say that the Word became flesh and made his dwelling among us. This is referring, of course, to Jesus. So, Christians aren't saying that God, as he exists eternally, died one day. The Christian claim is that the second person of the Trinity, who is, in nature, in essence, God, and who is with the Father and the Holy Spirit, entered into creation, taking on human flesh as Jesus of Nazareth, and that because he took on a human nature, he was able to die as a human being.
Wow. At the first we were told by Mr. Wood that Jesus was God, but now Mr. Wood is telling us that Jesus was God at the beginning. Now he is a man, and because he is the man, not God, that's why he can die. So now is Jesus God or a man? Because it does not make sense that Jesus was God at one point, and in other point he was a man. Is either Jesus was God from the beginning or he was a man. And what Mr. Wood said, he has gone against his own book. Because it says that Jesus is fully God and fully man, which are inseparable, not to separated or viewed as distinct entities. Yet Mr. Wood separated.
Christians aren't saying that God, as he exists eternally, died one day. The Christian claim is that the second person of the Trinity, who is, in nature, in essence, God, and who is with the Father and the Holy Spirit, entered into creation, taking on human flesh as Jesus of Nazareth, and that because he took on a human nature, he was able to die as a human being.